afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final race here at Texas Motor Speedway as we prepare for the Snickers Cup Series Chase Race number 3 to take place here today. If this is any indication, folks, of what we saw in the Truck Series race and the Mobile One Cup Series race, we are in for a treat today because this is really the cream of the crop. You know, the Truck Series Championship, there are drivers there that want to win that. There are drivers that want to win the Mobile One Cup Series Championship, but when it comes down to it, this is the big kahuna. This is what everybody wants to win, the Snickers Cup Series Championship, and also be able to win a Snickers Cup Series race. And today, these drivers are going to be trying to do it at a track that has brought about some amazing last few laps in both the Truck Series race and the Mobile One Cup Series race that we've had here in the last 2 days. Here's the way that they line up for today's race. As you'll notice down the bottom of your screen, the point standings. And here's the way they'll line up for 34 exciting laps of racing. Jake Cole is back in the 43 car, and he puts the 43 car on the pole for today's race. Starting to his high side is going to be none other than Anthony Nodder, who ended up having a really tough race last week at Kansas. Fell to 7th in the standings. He's now 30 points back, but he could, with a good run here today, maybe be able to get back into contention. Then we've got John Dillon, who just seems to continue to string together these top 5 finishes. He's going to be starting off in 3rd position, still looking for his first win, and Robert Band will roll off in 4th. Angel D'Souza, who I think was able to really turn some heads, if you will, at Kansas Speedway. She ended up having a great finish, ended up getting back into championship contention. She's only 27 points out of the top spot, and she's 5th in the standings. She'll start alongside of Alex Filter. Points leader, Dougie Shears. He's there in the 83 car. In the 7th position, he holds only a 6-point advantage over Daniel Schwab. Schwab is starting a few rows behind him. We'll get to him in just a moment. Then we got Martin Zakala. He'll start to the outside of our points leader. Andrew Gonzalez is back in the 17 car. The ride swap not exactly working out the way Noel Stiller wanted, so he is back in his 6 car. And to the high side of Andrew Gonzalez, his fellow Ford, James Bald, who ended up going to Victory Lane last week at Kansas Speed. Or no, he didn't. No, okay, no, not James Bald. Bald ended up taking the Truck Series win here at Texas. I was getting those confused. Actually, there's Anthony McCurry, and here's the guy who actually took the win last week, John Worry, becoming the 2nd Snickers Cup Series, being the first driver to win multiple Snickers Cup Series races. There's Daniel Schwab, 6 points back of leader Dougie Shears, so this is going to be a very interesting battle here today to see if Schwab can battle his way back up and maybe leave as the points leader here today. 6 points that he has to make up on Dougie Shears. He is 2nd in the standings. And Adam Rose will start to his high side. Back in the 6th car is Noel Stiller, as we mentioned. Noel Stiller is 54 points out of the lead, 11 points back. Or, I'm sorry, 11th in the standings, rather, 54 points back. He really needs a good run here today, but we ended up seeing in the Mobile One Cup Series where drivers got good finishes and they were back in contention just like that. So that could happen here today. He'll start alongside Patrick Scroggins. Then we got Philip Stiller, who will start alongside Vincent Marsh, who is 36 points back in the standings, 9th in the standings for the 18 car. He needs to get a good finish today. Trent Whitney will start alongside of Matt Smith. And that's going to be Paola Gonzalez starting alongside of Jordan Hester, 13 points back, 3rd in the standings. Then it's Alex Ban and Mark George, Matthew Rodriguez, and Christian Janes in the 24. Janes ended up getting a good finish at Kansas, moved his way up to 6th in the standings. He's only 28 points back from the top spot. Sean Galligan in a new ride. It's still the number 21, except it's now a Chevrolet, and it is tied, which is on his race card. That race car coming out of the Richard Childress stables. John Dillon kind of swinging a little bit of momentum there, trying to get Galligan a ride, and he did indeed. And so Galligan in a Richard Childress racing car for the rest of the season. He'll start alongside of Adam Chambers. Then we got Steve Marsh and Arnold Columbia. Columbia, really, I was talking to him before this race was getting underway and all the pre-race ceremonies and everything, and he's really looking forward to this race. We'll talk about him in just a moment. He comes into this race 31 points back, 8th in the standings. And then we find Ben Stern, Timmy Pacioli, Brandon Gonzalez in a new-looking paint scheme, and then we got Matt Berg. Then it's Logan Wilson back in his 9 car. He is 62 points out of the lead, 12th in the standings. I think he's out, but I'm not certain. There's Kenny McCurry, fastest in practice. Chad Skinner, Connor Breton, Lisa Shears starting away at the back. She comes in 4th in the standings. Then we got Jared Crocious, Wyatt Johnston, who comes in 10th in the standings, 40 points back, and Noah Cars to his high side. Going back to Arnold Columbia, he's starting pretty deep in the field, but he said he's looking forward to today's race because he ended up taking the win. But the last time we were here at Texas, he's looking forward to having the same thing happen here today. We're going to keep an eye on Richard Childress Racing. They're actually very good here at Texas Motor Speedway. And John Dillon there in third. Also keep an eye on Steve Marsh. He was very fast in practice. And also Kenny McCurry, as we mentioned, he was the fastest in practice. Green flag in the air. 34 laps of racing here today at Texas. Who's going to leave as the points leader? Whose championship hopes will be dashed? And who can maybe get some redemption here today at Texas? Jake Cole, if he could win this race, it'd be his second win in the Snickers Cup Series. He took a win at, I believe it was Daytona, in the 43 car. Best Buy was on the hood. I'm sorry, Valvoline was on the hood then. Best Buy on the hood here today. John Dillon, though, trying to run him down, and just like that, we complete one lap, and the caution waves. And it's for the 46 of Trent Whitney. Oh, and there's a wreck further up. Oh, major wreck. Pedro Gonzalez is involved. There's a car upside down. I can't even tell who it is. Maybe Matt Berg. Connor Breton, Chad Skinner, Lisa Shears is involved. There's Matt Berg. Maybe he wasn't the one involved. I don't know. Brandon Gonzalez, Noah Cars, Wyatt Johnston's involved. Oh, Logan Wilson's involved. And we were just talking about Arnold Columbia. He's gotten a piece of it. Alex Band, Steve Marsh, Sean Galligan. Noel Stiller is in it. So too is Jordan Hester, Ben Stern, Mark George, Vincent Marsh, Philip Stiller. The list just keeps going on and on. Points leader Doug Shears has some damage. Here comes Robert Band. Christian James is on pit road. So is Adam Chambers. Still trying to figure out who that car was that was actually upside down there. Here's the cars coming down pit road. Ban is on pit road. Philip Stiller, Noel Stiller, Alex Ban, Mark George, Christian James, Sean Galligan, Chambers, Columbia, Stern. Here comes Pacioli, Smith, Whitney. Brandon Gonzalez is on pit road. Logan Wilson's on pit road. And Jake Cole is the leader. Let's see why we're under the caution flag. A huge wreck occurring here on the first lap here at Texas. The first wreck kind of was almost like a solo car spin. As you see, I think it was Trent Whitney was the guy who ended up getting the short end of the stick here. Kind of makes a little well, twice he almost makes contact with Alex Band, but that's not exactly what I think sends him spinning. Right there, contact with Matthew Rodriguez, and it sends Rodriguez around there as well. And Trent Whitney up into the fence. Matt Smith kind of gets held up behind him. Jordan Hester didn't hit anything, though. But then let's see what happens further up here. It's Trent Whitney who really brings out the caution. There's Matt Berg, Kenny McCurry. They're all getting together, but they all save it. But the wreck occurs up here somewhere. I know Galligan was in it. Marsh was in it, so let's go further up. Noel Stiller was in it. Does it occur further up here? Let's look at Doug Shears. Because I know Doug Shears got a piece of it. He had some damage. He's right there behind his teammate, Alex Filter. Is there contact between himself and James Bald here? Oh, Filter turns Robert Ban, and Ban up into the fence. Doug Shears nowhere to go. Comes down, bounces off of James Bald. Bald bounces off of McCurry. They're up into the fence again. But I think, yeah, Noel Stiller got turned somehow, and up into Philip Stiller. Man! Hard impact, and back up into Doug Shears they go. Daniel Schwab made his way past that. And look at this, they just all pile up there. No telling just exactly who was to blame, who started it. But, oh man, look at this. The cars just come piling in. Scroggins, Marsh. Both the Marshes, actually. It was Christian James that was doing the flipping there, right there in the 24. Adam Chambers also flipping over. Arnold Columbia, another chase contender involved. James is a chase contender. Shears is a chase contender. Vincent Marsh is a chase contender. Lisa Shears there, you see her, she's a chase contender. Logan Wilson's a chase contender. A lot of cars involved. We'll see what the damage is here as far as who's taken out in this big wreck occurring here on the very first lap at Texas. Well, we're getting the signal of one lap to go and then we'll go green. And here's the way they are as far as cars involved that have gone to the garage area and whatnot. Christian Janes, after 1 week of really good success moving his way up, he suddenly finds himself in the garage area this week. He came in 6th in the standings. I think this will take him out of chase contention now, provided that other drivers don't have the same problems he just had. John Galligan and his new ride, Steve Marsh, Matt Berg, and old cars have all gone to the garage area. Adam Chambers has gone 2 laps down, and that's it. Everybody else has returned to the racetrack. So here's the way they line up for the restart. We'll give you the top 10. It's Jake Cole, the leader. Second is John Dillon. Then it's Anthony Nodder, Angel D'Souza, and teammate Andrew Gonzalez there in 5th. 6th is going to be Alex Filter. His teammate Doug Shears lines up in 7th. James Bald 8th. Anthony McCurry 9th. And Daniel Schwab is there in 10th. So it still is Doug Shears, the points leader. Schwab has not yet been able to pass the 83, but we have a lot of time still left in this race, a lot of laps still to run as we prepare for the restart here at Texas. Caution flag now turns to green. It's out, and we're back underway here at Texas Motor Speedway. Everybody making their way around the slower race car of Adam Chambers. Let's see if maybe we can have a nice little green flag run here as John Dillon is running down the Jake Cole machine. Puts a move to the inside, and here comes Dillon for the top spot. He thought about maybe sliding back in line, and now he does. Nodder is all over the back bumper of him. Anthony Nodder wants to get back on the warpath here. Right on the back bumper of John Dillon. Whoa! Dillon almost turns Jake Cole. That could have been close. John Dillon has not been to victory lane, and he wants to get to that inside line. He forges his way to the inside, and Dillon has finally gotten the run down the backstretch, and the caution's out. Let's see if Dillon can get the lead from Jake Cole at the line. He's on the inside. He has the advantage. Off turn 4, it is going to be Dillon with the lead under the caution flag. And the caution's out for Arnold Columbia and Anthony McCurry. Timmy Pacioli may have also gotten some of it. I don't know. Logan Wilson's back on pit road. So is Matt Smith. So is Alex Ban. I think they got caught up in it as well. And there's Dougie Shears. Shears is slow. Our points leader. Not certain what's going on there. I bet he got a piece of that wreck as well. Got a little bit of the action. Let's see why we're under the caution yet again. Our points leader, Doug Shears, having a hard day at the office. I think this is the second wreck he's been caught up in here in just a matter of 8 laps. Well, I never thought I'd say 5 wide at Texas, but that's what they were. Anthony McCurry is just trying to find a place to hide, I guess, to get out of that 5 wide scenario there, and just bounces off Patrick Scroggins, and then Connor Breeton's there. Makes contact with the 88. The 88 was running in 9th position at the time. So a tough break for Anthony McCurry. Goes down into the grass area. Robert Ban just kind of trying to... Well, I don't know why he hit the brakes. He should have been back into the throttle there. He makes a little bit of contact with the 22. And then back up the racetrack he comes. Look at Nodder just miss him. Oh, Alex Ban nails him. Arnold Columbia, nowhere for him to go. There comes Brandon Gonzalez. He got a piece of it. Ban gets nailed by Matt Smith. That's Alex Ban, rather. Adam Chambers got a piece of it right there. And I believe we said that Logan Wilson was on pit road as well. We'll see why as he comes into the picture here. Alex Ban, T-Bone. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Hard impact for all those drivers. Ban, Logan Wilson, McCurry, Columbia, Smith, as well as the car of Brandon Gonzalez getting some of it. Man, hard impact here early on here at Texas. And then chase contender Arnold Columbia, who came in 8th in the standings. A tough day for him. So we have more retirees after that wreck. Anthony McCurry is out. Matt Smith is retired. Chambers has still returned to the racetrack. He is still 2 laps down, though. And then we got Arnold Columbia, who has retired. Also the cars of Alex Ban, Logan Wilson, and Mark George has ended up retiring from the race for some reason. Not certain why the 42 has retired. We can, while we're still under the caution, let's go back and see if we can find out why the 42 has retired from the race. Okay, here's the reason. This was before the caution even came out. Mark George, turned by Timmy Pacioli up into the fence, comes down and makes contact again. Logan Wilson just does not seem to be able to miss a wreck. Seems to be caught up in a lot of them. But Mark George is able to somehow save it, but the impact and the damage just too great on the 42 car. He ended up taking his race car back to the garage area, so a shame for Mark George.